Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Finance Committee, a special meeting. With a special finance meeting of the Troy City Council. Let's begin with the pledge of allegiance. Councilmember Keel.
Present.
Councilmember Brosnan.
Here.
Member McLaren. Councilmember Farah.
Present.
Councilmember Soriento. Here. Councilmember Casey.
Present.
Councilmember Steele is present. At this point in the meeting, it's called a public forum. And if anyone in the audience wishes to speak on any item on the agenda of the Finance Committee, this is your opportunity to do so. Please come forward and give your name. Only items on the finance agenda.
Oh, can you hear me now?
No, I need a little help.
Get better?
There you go.
Hey, my name is Phil Quank. I'm the president of the Troy Retired Firefighters. And I'd like to thank people at this time, and I hope the resolution passed tonight, for the health insurance for the retirees. We really appreciate the work that has been done by the city council and by the mayor and deputy mayor. A lot of firefighters, retired firefighters, were panicked by the doctors back in October. And myself, and I know Gary Farrow, and the rest of my committee received numerous phone calls of people that were panicking because of the doctor saying that they're not going to cover them anymore. And can you imagine having an operation scheduled at Albany Med and being told nothing's being covered? That was terrible for what they did. But luckily, we had a council that backed us, and mayor and deputy mayor, and we really appreciate the effort and the work that went into it, and for the new plan that we will be receiving on June 1st. We appreciate it, and we thank you, and have a good night and a good meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
you.
Does anyone else wish to speak during the public forum? Can I do that, sir? Sure. Oops. First of all, it's great to see you have to speak right into the mic. Okay, first of all, it's great to see some of the people that I work with at City Hall, Irene and Tom Casey, some of the firefighters that my husband worked with. But I'm here because of the legislation for the Troy Housing Authority. And I thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of this legislation. As you are aware, the Troy Housing Authority has made major improvements to many of our properties. Our most recent is Griswold Heights, which is well underway. We are looking tonight for a pilot agreement and a waiver of building permit fees for Failing Court, which is 88 units, Catherine Sweeney, 24 units, Corliss Park Apartments, which is 184 units, and Grand Street Apartments at 40 units. The City of Troy and the City Council previously approved our pilot agreements for Kennedy Towers, for Martin Luther King Phase 1, Martin Luther King Phase 2, for Griswold Heights, and for Taylor Phase 1. Now that the Troy Housing Authority is in line for funding from the state of New York and from tax credits and historical tax credits, We are looking to close in June 25th, of this year, 2024. We just received approval to do major renovations at those 4 sites. And we're looking for the pilot, which the state of New York requires, and also the building permit waiver, which will help us to put that amount of money back into bricks and mortar of the project. So I don't know if you have your handouts that I sent out, the slideshow, but we are doing everything from soup to nuts. We are doing building system upgrades, which includes HVAC. We're doing roofs. We're doing sewer lines, infrastructure. We're also doing security upgrades, which is more cameras. We're doing in-unit upgrades, which includes new kitchens, any Energy Star appliances, new cabinetry, new fixtures, countertops, updated bathrooms, installation of new low flow plumbing fixtures, LED lights throughout our units, new smoke and carbon dioxide, keep saying dioxide, sorry guys, carbon monoxide. And exterior improvements. And also, which is really critical, is new playgrounds, new basketball courts, or refurnished basketball courts if we already have them, refurnished splash pads. I don't know if any of you have been to up to Martin Luther King, but we de-densified, we put in like pavilions, and it's really great. So what I'd like to do right now, if it's okay, is show you a little bit about the work that we've done up at Griswold Heights, which you approved back in October of just this past year, and some of the improvements that are in place. We've already completed 1 building. We're actually almost done with 2 buildings. All of the roofs, the infrastructure, the basements, the abatement, everything is completed. So I thought I don't have, I don't know if I want to do the Vanna White thing.
Don't you have an assistant?
No, I have no assistant.
We're on the austerity budget.
All right, so Phil, my good old friend, will walk around as Vanna White and show you that this is what this apartment looks like. And this is what it looks like today. Thank you, Phil. How much do I owe you? Vanna White.
Great improvement.
Oh, wow, very nice. This is an example of the bathroom. The bathroom that was completed.
That's before.
Yes. That's before. Here is after.
Anybody would like an A?
This is a picture of the completed living room. One for you. One more.
Oh,
Bedroom.
And a bedroom.
Thank you.
So we are looking for rehabilitation of those 4 sites at the same level as we are in full force at Griswold Heights. And one of the things that I want to explain to everyone, which is kind of been a misnomer, if you will, is that the Troy Housing Authority is going to continue to own and manage these properties. It's different from what a lot of, I guess, the rumors are out there. We're gonna continue to own and manage. We do have a development partner who is helping us. But once we get the financing and once we get the redevelopment and the construction done, they exit, we own, we manage. It's the same thing. It's gonna upgrade the community. It's gonna upgrade, you know, the surrounding areas. It's gonna upgrade the homes. I mean, as far as values, the homes around, these sites, and it's going to be a better place for the residents. One thing that I didn't mention is that the Troy Housing Authority has a full security force. We do inspections every year, at least once a year. Our security force evicts if people are not good neighbors, if they're not like, I don't know, having if they're criminals. We will go forward and evict our those residents. So you know, I think it's a good thing. I appreciate, you know, your support. I know it's a big ask, but you know, especially with the permit fees, we in the past have not had to come to the council, but anything that you approve as far as permit fees is going back into the bricks and mortar of the project. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Deb. Does any member of the council have any questions for Deb while he's at the mic? Councilmember Keel?
Yeah, I'm curious if you would know roughly what the percentages of, you know, housing here in Troy versus subsidized housing through the Troy Housing Authority. In other words, you know, sounds like we've got a lot of apartments, you know, under the Troy Housing Authority.
We have about 1,100 housing authority apartments, but we also service about 925 vouchers, which are outside, like private landlord.
All right, so over 2,000, that's a lot. All right, do you know if that percent, I'm just curious if this percentage is similar in other cities as compared to how many Troy has? Are we higher, lower? What do you think?
No, I think it is. I think it is very similar for a municipality of like 50,000 plus people. Very similar.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Council President? Sure. Councilmember McLaren.
Not a question so much as just a comment. I've spent a lot of time, a lot of time in many of these housing projects, with students on home visits, you know, just visiting families. And I'm just blown away by the quality of these upgrades. You know, what it's gonna mean to people. And so I just commend you for the hard work.
Thank you.
Councilmember Casey?
Well, I guess if we're thanking, I just do want to think I have in my district, I have very proud of Sweeney and Phelan, and of course, the big one, Bristol Heights. I have to say, I previously was employed part-time with Troy Housing, and I inspected every single apartment. And I saw the condition of many apartments. I also saw after some work was done and how nice it was. I also have to say, I also used to evict people from Troy Housing. But I had the pleasure last month of being invited into one of the units that was redone. And I couldn't believe it. It was just like, it was so beautiful. And everything is going to be so nice up there, the landscaping and everything. It's just going to be a beautiful place to live. And just really, really great work up there. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Councilmember Soriano?
I will also want to say thank you, all that you're, you know, that you're doing. It's incredible. I'm really excited about this.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Irene.
So Deb, while you're here, there are actually two items on the finance committee agenda. the building, waiving of the building permit fees and the, payment in lieu of taxes. Does any member of the council have any questions for Deb on either of those two? While she's at the mic.
I did have a question.
Okay, well, by all means, Councilmember Brosnan.
No.
Hi, Ryan.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You have 341 units that you're renovating this. Is there a plan on what you're going to do with the current residents of the 341 resident apartments?
There is a plan. We have a full relocation plan. Most of the renovations are going to be within the site, with the exception of Sweeney. We will be actually relocating the 24 Sweeney families. Actually, right now we have 4 vacancies. So we will be relocating 20 of those families temporarily, because we have to do a gut rehab there. The other families will be relocated within their sites. We've been holding units vacant so that they don't have to move to another location, change school districts or that type of thing. So it's kind of like a checkerboard thing, but we're hoping that within, Griswold Heights, it's a month to 6 weeks. And some people can move back in the same day. If they have minor work to do, we have hospitality lounges. So they move into the hospitality lounge during the day, they go back at night, they can still cook their food, they can, use their restroom, their facilities. Some of the units need a lot more work and, but we're following course with Valancourt, with, Forest Park and with Grand Street. And Grand Street is really phenomenal because that's a historic place, as everyone knows. We've had people living there for a long time. They're good residents. A lot of them are single and elderly. We're going to try to do as much as we can to keep them right in that area. Right in Grand Street, our own apartments.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Councilmember Barrett.
Good evening. I had a couple of questions. First, currently THA pays no property taxes to the county school on these properties. Is that
That's correct.
What part about the project triggers the need to pay taxes?
The reason why we're looking for a pilot agreement, which is new revenue for the city, the county, and the school districts, is to ensure that our investors and the state of New York, they're infusing a lot of money into these projects, are kind of secure as far as tax liability. So, for us to close, we have put out there that we are going to the city council. We are going to request and put in pilots. And, that's a big bonus for them. And it's kind of like, kind of risk, it eliminates that risk, if you will.
So without the pilot agreement, then the units would be subject to traditional property taxes.
They may be, but the bottom line is we might not get the financing.
Well, understood. That's the purpose of the pilot.
Right.
And then I see that the financing partners that are involved in the project, they're not transferring THA is not transferring ownership of the property.
No, THA is going to own and manage all of these properties.
And so then those partners are
They-
out of the deal after a few years, 5 years.
Right. They exit after, this particular deal would be 5 years.
Okay, and then where does the last question, where does the 30-year term come from?
The 30-year term comes from HCR because New York State infuses a ton of money. So they require our compliance, and I think, you know, I explained this to you on the phone. They require us over 30 to 40 years to maintain those properties, to make sure that our tenants are good, our finances are good. And we have to ensure that that goes on for that amount of time.
And then I guess part B, as I said, when the question, what happens after the end of 30 years?
I don't know if I'll be here.
Some of us may though, so what happens at the end of 30 years?
Well, the pilot agreement goes away, so it would either have to be renegotiated or it becomes a taxable property.
Okay. Understood. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Thank you, Deb. We appreciate all your information.
Thank
I'm
you.
probably not supposed to comment officially on this as I chair the Troy Housing Authority, but it's a wonderful, wonderful project, plural, that we're doing, and thank you for your leadership.
Thank you.
Does anyone else wish to speak during the public forum? Seeing none, we'll move on with our agenda. We have 2 ordinances and a number of resolutions. Ordinance 22, ordinance authorizing a waiver of the building permit fees for the Troy Housing Authority Bundle 2 project. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Second. Councilmember Keel moves, Councilmember Soriento seconds. Any discussion on the resolution? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And 1 recusal. Ordinance 23, ordinance transferring funds within the 2024 general fund budget for Corporation Council temporary salaries. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration. Do I have a motion? Motion. Councilmember Brosnan with a second by Councilmember Soriento. Discussion on the resolution. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Resolution is adopted 7-0. For the ordinance, excuse me. Now we move on to resolutions. Resolution of the number 88, resolution of the City Council of the City of Troy authorizing the execution of a payment in lieu of taxes pilot agreement by and among the City of Troy, Troy Bundle Housing Development Fund Corporation, and Troy Portfolio Preservation B2 LLC for Troy Portfolio Preservation Bundle 2. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration. Do I have a motion? Motion. Councilmember McLaren, second.
Second.
Councilmember Casey. Discussion on the resolution. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And 1 recusal. So it's 6 ayes, 1 recusal. Resolution is adopted. Resolution 88, 89, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Anthem Insurance Companies, Inc. for the purpose of changing the health insurance coverage provider for retired city employees from Humana to Anthem, and further authorizing a contract with Empire Blue Cross for supplemental drug coverage for city employees. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Soriento, second by Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion on the resolution. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Resolution is adopted 7-0. Resolution 90, resolution declaring the Troy City Council lead agency for review under the State Environmental Quality Review Act, SEQR, of a city-sponsored project to extend and construct the Marina North Boardwalk along the Hudson River from its existing terminus at Hutton Street to a point 1/4 of a mile north at J Street, and to refer the project to the Planning Commission for for initial review and recommendation. Councilmember Casey, Council President Steele, at the request of the administration. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Keel, with a second by Councilmember Brosnan. Second on the resolution. Councilmember Vera.
Coburn, are you available to answer any questions? Well, you're not. Mr. Coburn.
I'm not Mr. Coburn, but I might know the answer to your question.
Yeah, I'm curious about the order of operations here. When would the project be in front of the planning commission? And when should the council act as lead agent? When would the council be doing its?
Okay, the council would have to send out notices to other involved agencies, and they can also send them to interested agencies. And those agencies generally have 30 days, I believe, to respond to that. At which point, if no one disputes the council's designation of itself as lead agency, the council would become lead agency and undertake the seeker. My understanding would be that the project, however, will be referred immediately to the planning commission to have them begin a process of making some input into the project.
So the planning commission themselves, though, they're taking no action.
They cannot be the lead agency on this project.
It is not for site plan review at the planning.
They don't have jurisdiction of city projects per se. They would at best be an interested agency. And in order to be a lead agency, you must be an involved agency and have jurisdiction as well as power to, either appropriate money or approve the project.
On other seeker resolutions, we declared the type of the action. Should this resolution be amended to include that, in your opinion?
I think, does the memo specify the type of action it is? I think it is a unlisted action. No, it wasn't. Did you have that? Is it a type one?
It's gonna be a type one.
Type one.
Well,
Type one.
yes, I understood we had discussed that earlier today. My question is, did that be included in? Is it in this resolution, or should it be? I didn't see it in there.
I don't think it's necessary to
Okay.
put it in the resolution. I mean, the council will treat it as a type one action.
Okay.
And we'll have to determine the seeker accordingly.
Understood. Thank you.
Any other questions from the council? Thank you, gentlemen. Seeing no, hearing no discussion, further discussion, vote on the resolution. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Resolution is adopted 7-0. That is our agenda for the finance committee. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Councilmember Soriento in a second. Councilmember Casey. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned for the moment. Sorry. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the May regular meeting of the Troy City Council. I would ask you to please join me in the pledge of allegiance. Please call the roll.
Curfew,
Present.
Councilmember Brosnan,
Here.
Councilmember Stephen Clarence,
Present.
Councilmember Vero,
Present.
Councilmember Sorrento.
Here.
Councilmember Casey.
Here.
Council President Steele,
Present.
all are present.
Thank you. We're going to change the agenda slightly tonight and move up good news. We have a very special guest with us tonight. And I've asked my colleagues to join me up front to present to Robin Fontanelli for Sidewalk Warriors. Robin is busy at work, I guess. Sidewalk Warriors meets every Thursday night by Christ Church at State and Fifth Avenue. And they provide a tremendous service to our community. We wanted to recognize them tonight. Unfortunately, she may not have been able to get away. And we understand that, but I would like to share our sentiment. It's a certificate of commendation in recognition of Sidewalk Warriors. Whereas Sidewalk Warriors Troy is a dedicated grassroots organization fueled by the passion and commitment of volunteers who extend a helping hand to friends in our community facing tough times. And whereas whether it's combating homelessness, alleviating food insecurity, or providing support when resources run low at month's end, Sidewalk Warriors stand ready to assist with open hearts. And whereas every Thursday, 52 weeks a year, at the corner of Fifth Avenue and 35 State Street, Sidewalk Warrior volunteers set up at 4:30 p.m. and by 6 p.m. They're ready to serve our community with open hearts and open hands. Now therefore be it resolved that the Troy City Council does hereby commend and appreciate Sidewalk Soldiers Troy for exceptional compassionate commitment to serving those in our city who need a helping hand. I'd also like to recognize former City Councilman Steve Figueroa, who nominated this organization. Steve, would you want to say something about your work with them?
August had a partnership with Sidewalk Warriors, and they're just, you know, every Thursday, they are working for 250 plus families every week, anywhere from food to toiletries to something. Me and Robin has this, you know, partnership, and I see the hard work that her staff goes through. The people do it, it's something that they just have to say. Like I said, they said 200 plus homeless in the community, and they do it throughout the year, whether it's raining, whether it's snowing, no matter what the conditions are, they make sure that the community as a whole, they make sure that the homeless people that are in the community are getting back. So I just sort of say that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And we thank Sidewalk Warriors. Do you want to just have a picture of us with this, and we'll get it to them. Come on, guys, we can be friendly. We can. At this time, I would recognize anyone who's interested in speaking on any item on the agenda this evening during public forum. Please come forward and give us your name and place of residence, please.
Whoever the mic.
Right into it.
Hi, I'm here annually. Thank you for the Neighborhood Improvements Award that Troy Blue has received this year. We plant over 60 planters in downtown Troy. Last year we had 18 volunteers and it was done in an hour and a half. So we really appreciate the award that allows us to plant all those planters with flowers, for which we get a lot of compliments. I want to thank you. I also want to know how I applied for that $200 of the 20,000 that's still left after all the awards are made.
I'm sorry.
There's two, according to the figures, there was $200 left.
Actually, that went to another organization, so that all applicants were funded this year. Unfortunately, not everyone could be funded at their requested amount, but it went to the James Connolly's Social
Okay.
Club.
It looked like there was $200 left.
Right, right.
I
Well,
hate to see any money go unused.
so did we, so we gave it away. Thank you, Marie.
Size budget.
Okay, want to give that to our Maria? Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak on any item on the agenda, for or against?
I've never come to one of these before. My name's Marie, and I don't even know if I'm
Well,
doing the right thing here.
Please speak into the mic, because there are folks who aren't in the room who are listening, and so it's important that you speak right into the lower one, that one right there.
That
Yes.
one. My name's Marie. Like I said, I've never come to one of these before. It has to do with some safety issues between Dow and Ingalls and River Street with the Troy Kipper School. Back on April 8th, as it concerns, I was parking my truck. Can I or no?
Well, this portion is usually for items that are on the agenda, but you're here now, so please go forward.
Okay, well, to make a long story short, on River Street side, there's no safety issues, nothing, no 20 miles an hour, no flashing red lights. Actually, when they built the parking lot for the instructors or the teachers, they took the red light down. I don't know why, but there's no red light there. There's no 20 miles an hour. There's no crosswalk. There's no police officer. And on April 8th, I got swiped by a vehicle that went over the double yellow lines, dreadlocked the traffic when the school bus was trying to go north. No, she was going south. The other person was going north, went over the double lines. We were trying to tuck in mirrors so the bus could get through, so we could get the traffic to move. And this woman, after calling me all kinds of names, so I called the Troy Police Department. They told me to call the community police. I called the community police. The community police tell me to call the Troy Tipper president of the school. So I speak with Kevin Robinson of the school. He tells me to write a letter, bring it down to City Hall, give it to the mayor. I did that, except for I did a petition. And I did all the neighborhood right in that area on that block for safety. And one of the people that signed this told me that she had her children in the school a few years ago, and apparently she had done the same thing I'm trying to do again. And her child was crossing the road, saw cars coming, there was nobody stopping the traffic. The child got scared, fell down, busted her front teeth. We really need to do something before a child gets killed. It's like a nightmare. It really is terrible. It's terrible. And I have 3 grandkids that go to that school. So that's another reason why I became active with this. I don't know where else to go to get help for this. They have the 20 miles an hour on Fifth Avenue. They have the crosswalk things on Fifth Avenue, but they don't have anything on River Street. And that's where all the buses line up, on River Street and the side on Dow Street. So the buses are all lined up here. They load them up one by one. The buses pull away and keep on coming. But at the same token, traffic is being held up and people don't like that.
Right.
It's very unsafe.
Thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. Do you have the petition with you?
This is a copy
A copy.
and I dropped, you can have it.
No, no, I
wrote
don't.
the original off at the mayor's office.
That's fine. Wonderful.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you. Anyone wish to speak about an item on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on with the agenda. Clerk, would you please read our ordinances? Ordinance 13.
Ordinance 13, ordinance transferring funds within the 2024 general fund, council president sealed the request of the administration.
Sorry, ordinance transferring, you read it. I was distracted, sorry. Is there any discussion? I don't know, we need a motion. What are those nice things that they're about right now? All right. Councilmember Soriento, second.
Second.
Member Brosnan. Discussion on the resolution. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 noes, ordinance 13 passes.
Ordinance 14.
Ordinance 14, ordinance authorizing settlement of potential claim to which Derek Wellborn plaintiff First City of Troy and Troy Fire Department defendants council president sealed the request of the administration.
We have a motion. Motion, Councilmember Brosnan with a second by Councilmember McLaren. Discussion on the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 noes, ordinance 14 passes.
Ordinance 15.
Ordinance 15, ordinance transferring funds within the 2024 special grants, council president sealed the request of the administration.
We have a motion.
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, second. Second by Councilmember Keel. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 noes, ordinance 15 passes.
Ordinance 16.
Ordinance 16, ordinance authorizing awards of neighborhood improvement project funds, Council President Steele, Councilmember Casey.
We have a motion.
Motion.
Councilmember Soriento, one second. By Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion on the resolution.
Council President.
Councilmember Hammond.
The accompanying documentation has been updated to reflect the amendment that was made.
Right. Yeah, you're accurate. I amended it on the minute for the finance, so I should be able to just change it, and we can amend it now if you want, that's fine.
It was already amended.
No, I
correct?
know, yeah, so I should be able to change it, and that'd be fine.
So then
That's okay with you.
all of the funds were.
Oh, yeah.
distributed.
Yep, I think there's dollars left.
Okay.
So then just to clarify, the $19,673.37. The total.
So there's gonna be-
That's now 20,000.
It should
The
be
full amount.
$19,973.
Okay, $300.
Any other discussion?
Council President Steele.
Councilmember Casey.
I just want to say quickly, it was nice to be a part of this with Councilman Brosnan and Council President Steele. It was nice, and I got the chance to attend the Stowe Hill meeting the other night and saw personally, they talked about, you know, what this meant to them. They have a planning they do every year to beautify the neighborhood, and it was nice to be a part of it, and they were very appreciative, and I'm sure all these groups were very appreciative. Thank you.
I would, ditto that. It's nice when we can work together on things, and this is definitely a great, program. Small amounts of money, but big, impact in the community, bringing folks together. And, thank you, Marie, to your group for their fine work downtown. It really spruces up our downtown. So thank you so much. Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, ordinance 16 passes.
Ordinance 17.
Ordinance 17, ordinance transferring funds within the 2024 general fund. Council President Steele, they request the administration.
Do I have a motion? Councilmember Keel. Member Brosnan, are you seconding?
Sure.
Okay. Discussion on the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, ordinance 17 passes.
I would just want to say to the audience, both here and elsewhere, all of these went through committee, so we have discussed at length on most of these, so we don't usually rush through them quite as quickly during committee meetings, but we're now in the neighborhood. So, ordinance 18.
Ordinance 18, ordinance amending the 2024 miscellaneous special revenue fund budget to accept funds from the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services for purchasing police equipment and materials. Council President Steele, the request of administration.
Do I have a motion? Councilmember Soriento. Second.
Second.
Councilmember Casey. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, ordinance 18 passes.
Ordinance 19.
Ordinance 19, ordinance authorizing and approving the filling of the city of Troy's application, filing of the city of Troy's application for funding pursuant to the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974, the McKinney Act Emergency Shelter Grant Program, and the Home Investment Partnership Program designating the mayor as the authorized representative of the city for such purposes. Council President Steele, they request the administration.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan. Second by Councilmember McLaren. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, ordinance 19 passes.
Ordinance 20.
Ordinance 20, ordinance transferring funds within the 2024 ARPA funds for peak ambulance. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion? Councilmember Soriento with a second by Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, ordinance 20 passes.
Ordinance 21.
Ordinance 21, ordinance transferring funds within the 2024 ARPA funds for emergency relief. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion? Councilmember Soriento, seconded by Councilmember Brazel. Discussion. All in favor?
7 ayes, 0 no's, ordinance 21 passes.
Ordinance 23.
Ordinance 23, ordinance transferring funds within the 2024 general fund budget for corporation council temporary salaries. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion? Councilmember Brosnan, second. Councilmember Keel. Discussion? All in favor?
7 ayes, 0 no's, ordinance 23 passes.
At this time, we're gonna take a break from our agenda and hold a public hearing before we address the legislation later in the agenda. So I would call our public hearing to order. And clerk, would you please read the notice of call?
The Troy City Council has scheduled a public hearing for May 2nd, 2024 at 7 p.m. in the council chamber of Troy City Hall, 433 Fifth Street, 433 River Street, 5th floor, Troy, New York, 12180. The purpose of the hearing is to obtain citizens' views and comments relative to the submission of an application to Empire State Development for financial assistance under the Restore New York Communities Initiative. This financial assistance will support the Troy Housing Authority's efforts to redevelop Taylor 2, a 308-unit complex with ground floor retail. This new development will replace the existing John C. Taylor Apartments, Towers 3 and 4. The 154,000 square foot buildings are slated for demolition and replacement with a brand new project.
Thank you. At this time, is there anyone who wishes to speak in favor, for, or against during this public hearing? For the second time, if there's anyone who wishes to speak for or against, please come forward. And for the third time, anyone who wishes to speak as part of our public hearing, please feel free to come forward now. Hearing none, seeing none, I would declare this public hearing closed, and we'll move on with our agenda. Resolutions.
Resolution 15, sorry. Resolution 59, resolution proclaiming May 2024 as Building Safety Month in the city of Troy. Councilmember Soriento at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion? Motion. Councilmember McFerrin. Second.
Second.
Councilmember Barrett. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, resolution 59 passes.
Resolution 60.
Resolution 60. Resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Clinton Brown Company Architecture to conduct a building assessment in Lansingburg related to the New York Main Street program. Councilmember Keel, the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, second. Second. Councilmember Soriento. Discussion on the resolution?
Council President.
Councilmember Keel.
Just recently, I received a constituent letter, and this is regarding the corridor on Second Avenue in Lansingburg. She's saying she walks on Second Avenue there, and she gets solicited by drug dealers. There is prostitution going on. She's been solicited by those looking for those services. It's kind of it used to be a thriving area, and a jeweler store, Howie's Jewelers. So anyway, we have addressed this. We've forwarded that letter to our, police and, they're gonna start looking into it. But that whole corridor needs to be lit up. Not just with nice street lighting, but, Bird Isles is there, you know, there's some remnants of good places. We have to make that happen, for our city. That should be a thriving little corridor of our city, financially and with commerce. That's my input there.
Thank you. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 noes, resolution 60 passes.
Resolution 62.
Resolution 62, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Rensselaer County Department of Mental Health to receive funding from the New York State Office of Addiction Service and Support Services. Council President Seale, the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion? Motion. Councilmember Sorrento. Seconded by Councilmember Hughes.
Second. Yes.
Discussion on the resolution. All in favor? Aye.
7 ayes, 0 noes, resolution 62 passes.
Resolution 65.
Resolution 65, resolution honoring Michael Manupello for more than a half century of service to Troy youth. Council President Steele, Councilmember Vera, Councilmember Spain McLaren.
Thank you. Councilmember Keel, seconded by Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion on the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 noes, resolution 65 passes.
Resolution 66.
Resolution 66, resolution by the Troy City Council approving and endorsing an application to the Empire State Development Corporation for funding under the Restore New York Communities Initiative Grant Program. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
We have a motion. My motion. Councilmember Soriento with a second by Councilmember Brosnan. We have a representative here tonight from Penrose. Should any of the members of the council have any questions? More than willing to answer. I would take that as a good sign. Thank you. Then vote on the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm not sure if I need to recuse, so I'll, on the safe side, recuse myself.
6 ayes, 1 recusal. Resolution 66 passes.
Resolution 67.
Resolution 67, resolution accepting a grant from the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services and authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract and execute documents related to the grant on behalf of the city. Council President Steele, the request of the administration.
Have a motion.
Motion.
Member Brosnan, second. Member Keel. Discussion on the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 noes, resolution 67 passes.
Resolution 69.
Resolution 69, resolution determining that proposed action is a type 2 action for purposes of the New York State Environment Quality Review Act. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion? Councilmember Brosnan, second. Councilmember Vera. Discussion on the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 noes, resolution 69 passes.
Resolution 70.
Resolution 70, bond resolution of the city of Troy, New York, authorizing the issuance of $7.5 million serial bonds to finance the reconstruction of various streets in the city. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, second.
Second.
Councilmember Vera. Discussion on the resolution. All in favor? Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 noes, resolution 70 passes.
Resolution 71.
Resolution 71, resolution proclaiming May 2024 as Mental Health Month in Troy, New York. Council President Steele, Councilmember Vera, Councilmember Spain McLaren.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second. Member Brosnan, second by Councilmember Keel. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye. 7 ayes, 0 no's, resolution 71 passes.
Resolution 72.
Resolution 72, resolution of the city of Troy, New York, recognizing May 2024 as Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. Council President Steele, Councilmember Vera, Councilmember Spain McLaren.
Motion. Councilmember Keel, second. Second. Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion on the resolution? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's. Resolution 72 passes.
Resolution 73.
Resolution 73, resolution proclaiming the month of May 2024 as Clamor May in the city of Troy, New York. Councilmember Sargento.
We have a motion.
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, and second by Councilmember Vera. Discussion on the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, resolution 73 passes.
Resolution 74.
Resolution 74. Resolution accepting a Restore New York grant for construction of the 1818 Fifth Avenue Development Project and authorizing the mayor to sign a sub-recipient agreement with Troy 1818 LLC. Council President Steele at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, second. Second. Councilmember McLaren. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, resolution 74 passes.
Resolution 75 has been withdrawn. Resolution 76.
Resolution 76, resolution determining that proposed purchases of construction and maintenance equipment are type 2 actions for purposes of the New York State Environment Quality Review Act. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
We have a motion.
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, second. Second. Councilmember Soriento. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye. 7 ayes, 0 no's, resolution 76 passes.
Bond resolution of the city of Troy, New York, sorry about that, 77.
Resolution 77, bond resolution of the city of Troy, New York, authorizing the issuance of $850,000 serial bonds to finance the purchase of construction and maintenance equipment. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Keel, with a second by Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, resolution 77 passes.
Resolution 78.
Resolution 78, resolution determining that proposed purchase of police department vehicles is a type 2 action for purposes of the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, second. Second. By Councilmember Vera. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, resolution 78 passes.
Resolution 79.
Resolution 79, bond resolution of the city of Troy, New York, authorizing the issuance of $440,000 serial bonds to finance the purchase of police vehicles. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion? Councilmember Keel, with a second by Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion on the resolution.
Council President,
Councilmember McLaren.
I have a question. I don't know if Dylan could possibly answer it.
Hey, everybody.
At
Your
our,
hair is different, Dylan.
Yeah. I'll answer what I can.
at our last meeting, Jack Keen, sorry, was here, and explained that 4 new vehicles were gonna be purchased.
Correct.
So the question I had is actually about a budget item, so, which is why I asked Dylan in the first place. I'm not sure if you know the answer to this. In the 2024 budget, there is a line item for police vehicles for $375,000.
Right, so what happens is pretty much ever since COVID, everything is being pushed at least 9 months, sometimes 12 months, sometimes 15 months. So we're ordering the cars in the year that we're budgeting for, but we're not receiving the cars until the next year. So like, we have 2 cars that just arrived and 2 cars that are coming that were ordered last July. So we're still in arrears for the amount of vehicles that we need. We still have some 2008s and some 2010s and an 09 and a couple of 11s that we still need to replace those if we're going to stay ahead of the game and have good vehicles. I write a budget. I try to keep an efficient, well-maintained, trained workforce and department. How it gets funded is, that's not really, we don't really get into that, I mean, I ask for my budget and I hope for the best, and then we cut where we can cut and so on, but that's the answer pretty much. I mean, we're always in arrears. I mean, the last time we received vehicles was in May of last year, and those vehicles were ordered in January of 22. So, I mean, it's that far behind.
Okay, so in the past, they've been paid for through the budget.
Correct.
But now what's in the budget is not going to cover the 4 new vehicles, am I understanding that right?
I don't believe it's gonna cover the other vehicles that we still need that we plan on ordering at the end of the summer. There's a supervisor vehicle, an ET vehicle, a detective, these are all vehicles, like I said, that are like 09s, 10s, 11s, that are just,
Right.
their life is, pretty much gone.
Right, and I'm not questioning that, I'm not.
No, I didn't think
I'm
that.
just, I'm new to this, I'm reading the budget, I
Sure.
see that there's a line item for 375,000. And we're wanting to bond for 440,000, so it sounds like the 375 is already encumbered.
Other than about 60,000, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Council President.
Councilmember Q.
Officer Dillon would like to know, I'd like to know, what is the typical mileage that is on a vehicle at the end of the life of a vehicle that we're
Anywhere from 110 to 170,000. I mean, it's quite a bit.
here?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Chief, I have a question.
Sure.
So is it your plan to continue to budget for vehicles? Or is this a new strategy to now bond for vehicles?
That's
above your pay grade?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I just, how they're paid for, is not really
So
in my bailiwick.
the vehicles being bonded for are in addition to the vehicles that were budgeted for.
Correct, but the vehicles that were budgeted for are actually last year's vehicles that are just arriving now.
And is it your intent or your plan? Because the way, Assistant Chief King explained it to us, is they were going to be sort of rotating, that we would order 4,
Correct,
and that would fill in, and we would do this on a annual basis. But now it seems like we have a budget item and then a bonded item, so it's a lot more than the annual rotation. So we're just trying to understand, why we're doing that. But you're, I guess, not in a position to answer that.
Well, that's it, Council President, if I may. So I think it's not necessarily a change in strategy. It's exactly like what the chief, already explained that. Sorry, that mic's a little down here. But so just like he explained, it's already, although yes, I do understand, like Councilman McLaren said, although it's in the 24 budget, that's still, I mean, that's expended. Those are vehicles that are, basically we're behind a year or so.
right.
So the bond is to get ahead, and that's been the practice, really, so.
So this is a one-time bond.
Correct, yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to clarify whether or not we're talking about, we have worked very hard to reach a point where we could buy the vehicles and budget for them and pay for them as operating expenses. Now we're bonding again. And so I'm just trying to clarify whether or not this is a new tax, or if this is a one-time and we'll resume our budgeting and there won't be future bonds.
I would say that it's not, it's not a new strategy. I mean, yes, this is a one shot for this. You know, of course, if anything that we can budget and don't have to bond for, that's most certainly something that we go.
So it's unlikely that we'll be seeing more bonds for vehicles than going forward. This is to play catch up,
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, I mean,
and we have Dylan.
that's my.
I just want to clarify,
Need the table back.
the reason that we're bonding right now is because of what the chief said. Because it takes so long for a car to get to us, it's over the year of the fiscal budget. So if we budgeted for this year for vehicles and we received them next year, we couldn't use this year's money unless it was bonded. So like a budgeted amount for a fiscal year in our budget can only be used for items and or contracted services for that budgeted year. There are certain items that you can roll over and have purchase orders that do roll over, but you don't like doing that in a year, because then you're not being accurate to that fiscal year's budget. Because it's a rolled over now budget or encumbrance to the next year. How you mitigate that issue is by bonding, where bonding the monies can be used over multiple years. And again, it's because of the fact that vehicles are taking 18 to 24 months after COVID to get to us. So when we try to budget for 1 year for that vehicle, it's not coming in that year. Back in the day before COVID, that wasn't an issue. So that's maybe why they didn't bond prior to 2020. And there was a real good reason why, because you wanted to keep it within that fiscal year and you didn't want to bond for money that you could actually use in your budget. But because of the fact that these now are taking too long and not within our fiscal year of when we actually need the vehicles, we can't, it's not good practice to use that year's money for the next year's vehicles. I hope that explained that a little better.
Councilmember Fair.
Dylan, when do we, this is more out of just curiosity, when do we actually pay for the vehicles?
When they come in.
When they're delivered, do we put a deposit down?
No,
to make-
we get an estimate, we get a cost estimate of the vehicle. They send that, that cost to us, which we've already gotten some of the estimates based on the needs of our 4 vehicles that we're bonding for. And those are the quotes that can't change unless there's huge drastic amounts that, because of supply chain issues or something like that. And they have to give us a really good reason for why they're adjusting their estimate. But we don't pay them until the cars come in. So like the chief said, we ordered cars last year. We're literally paying for them this month. We haven't paid anything for those vehicles that we had in our budget last year. And again, that's just a nightmare accounting wise, because you have to do all these approvals. We don't know when those vehicles are coming in. I mean, it could have been another 6 months. Maybe it could have been next year. So again, as a person who came from the Department of General Services in the city of Albany, we've always since 2020 have bonded for the vehicles because of this situation.
So are the funds that we're bonding for currently, are those to cover for the delivery of vehicles that have already been ordered?
That is not, they're in the process of being ordered after we get this bond resolution through. We can't really commit to the purchase of the vehicles until we have the money. So that after we get this money, I'm assuming we have.
Correct.
Right? Yeah, so then we'll actually tell them that we have the money ready to go for the 4 vehicles they got an estimate for, and then from there, they'll start the production of those vehicles.
Understood. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Councilmember Gay? No? Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Council President Steele. I just want to say, hearing from the chief talking about there's actually 2009s and 2010s and 11s out there, that's pretty scary. Like I always say, with fire equipment, it has to work at 100% of the time. We definitely want these police vehicles. We want the policemen to have the best equipment they have. God forbid they had mechanical breakdowns like we did in the early nineties when we had no money and, it could lead to a problem with responses. Just like the fire department, I care, because I was a fireman, because my son is a fire captain, but I also care, and I think about it every day because my son is a sheriff's deputy in Charlotte, Mecklenburg, North Carolina. So, I mean, it is very, very important that they have the equipment, and I see that we got to do a little catch up. Sounds like a great idea. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Vote on the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, resolution 79 passes.
Resolution 80.
Resolution 80, resolution determining that proposed purchase of computer equipment is a type 2 action for purposes of the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act. Councilmember Casey at the request of administration.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan. Second by Councilmember Kim. Discussion on the resolution. All in favor? Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, resolution 80 passes.
Resolution 81.
Resolution 81, bond resolution of the city of Troy, New York, authorizing the issuance of 260,000 serial bonds to finance the purchase of computer equipment. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second? Second. Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion on the resolution. Council President. Councilmember Story.
I have a question for Omid. Hi,
Good evening.
good evening. So, how old is your computer equipment, the computer equipment right now? Probably.
I actually brought it with me. Can I present it?
Yeah. Great job.
I thought it would make more sense to show you physically what we are operating with. And you may have a question that, why do we need that 250 now? And moving forward, are we gonna need it again? Unfortunately, the amount of money invested in the technology was very minimum, and that's why we're so behind. If we don't spend money now, we may be looking at 350 the next year and probably double that in a few years from now on. So I just wanted to, this is one of the workstations we have, it's Lenovo. This was purchased in 2016. And I'm not a big fan of Lenovo because they're manufactured and then they're owned by China. And it's a big security risk. Right now, if we have a security audit done by a private firm, they will flag this right off the bat because it's a big security concern. And this is one of the reasons I want to take Lenovo off our environment. And this is the second batch of computers that we have in our environment. These are HPs. And they're average 5 to 6 years old. And the reason we're going to replace these is because we don't have the operating system is not current. And if we need to spend money on it, that will cost additional man hour, and we have to buy an additional operating system license to upgrade these. So we will probably end up paying more in long run if a department, which we have 24/7 facilities, and if somebody has an issue, they have to call one of our technicians, they show up on the site to fix it. It will cost more in long run on overtime to fix these stuff. These are the firewalls that we're deploying. We have 3 so far, and we have about 8 sites of these new firewalls. And we need roughly 8 of these, so 5 additional that we need to get.
State license that, so what I've been told that, and I'm not sure how accurate it is, but I was told that the licensing costs almost as much as the actual computer itself.
That is correct. It depends actually. So the operating system on a computer, it costs about $100 to $150. per computer. And when you go to the server level, it depends on what you put on your server, how many, it's called Cal, like how many CPU it will take. So based on that, the amount could be anywhere from 500 to a couple thousand. So that's one. And then the server, they have these virtualization software. They call it, it's the company that we work with is called VMware. And those licenses, they are, I don't know how much it is for the city of Troy, but they run in the thousands. Because of our environment is very small. My previous job, we were $150,000 in licensing just for VMware to operate in the virtual environment. This server here, it's a 2014 vintage, and yeah, so that. Yeah, so the problem is we can put new operating system on them, we can operate with them. The issue is the hardware age. It could die any minute. Something could just, you know, stop working. And also the hardware itself, the BIOS, does not receive the support and the updates anymore. So what happens is they will be vulnerable, like there will be vulnerabilities out there that can make us a very easy target to hacker. They run about $11,000 just the hardware itself. And if we need to get the licensing, that's probably an additional $4,000 or $5,000. Again, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but just an estimate. Last week or last time when I was here, I showed a picture. So this is one of newer switches. It's a 2009 vintage. This went into production, and we're trying to replace these. We have almost over 30 of this in our environment. This is the newer model that the police department has bought too, and I'm working with them to deploy these soon. They run about 6,000 a piece,
How old is that one?
1 year.
Oh, 1 year.
Yeah, they bought it 1 year ago. So since they didn't have anybody to deploy these, I got a hold of them, so I'll work with them to deploy these. Now, just to upgrade our switches in the city, 30 times 6, 108,000 right there. So it's you can see how quick those money is. And the computers that we're buying it through Dell. Like try so hard to negotiate a pricing with them. We are getting a really good deal. A PC, monitor, keyboard, mouse, everything for almost $800, and with the operating system license. So like, try my best to save as much money and make us more productive. So overall, we need 7 firewalls, 30 switches, about 8 servers, and possibly 50 to 80 PCs would get us to that area where we can be off the other systems and we'll be all done. And sorry, just one more thing. This, like you mentioned, does not include licensing. So for the end user, we also need Microsoft Office licensing. Majority of the users, not majority, but many use Adobe professional licenses.
Yeah.
So those are also not included in the pricing, but yeah. And I have some quotes from companies if you guys are interested, I can pass it by.
Thank
you.
Rivera?
Approximately how much of the 260,000 is going to be spent on systems for end users? Not the switches, not the servers, not the firewalls.
I would be very comfortable if we get at least 50 workstations this year.
Okay, so about 40,000, 45,000.
Roughly, yes.
And along with all of the new technology, is there any plan for additional training for city staff to use the new systems?
Honestly, we don't have the resources to do it. I would love to do it. But we try our best. I mean, we try to make it like easy as setup as possible so they don't have a lot of difficulties learning them.
So no current plans then?
No current plans, no. I honestly, I would love to have something, but unfortunately, due to the limitation on my staff, it's very hard to accommodate at this point.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Ahmed.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Vote on the resolution, all in favor? Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, resolution 81 passes.
Resolution 82,
Resolution 82, resolution determining that proposed renovation of the police department building is a type 2 action for purposes of the New York State Environment Quality Review Act. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
do I have a motion? Motion. Councilmember Brosnan, second.
Second.
Councilmember Rivera. Discussion on the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, resolution 82 passes.
Resolution 83,
Resolution 83, bond resolution of the city of Troy, New York, authorizing the issuance of 280,000 serial bonds to finance police department building renovations. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
do I have a motion? Councilmember Keel, do I have a second?
Second.
Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion on the resolution.
Council President?
Councilmember Verica McLaren.
Where you are. So I have a similar question, and I guess I'll put it out there and thank you, Chief.
Sure.
So again, I saw in the budget, there is a budget line for facility upgrade. And there's 58,500 in that, on that line. Is that already set for something? Is that already encumbered for something aside from these projects?
Some of it is,
Okay.
not all of it, but those upgrades are things that are just necessary over the years. I mean, the change in the building, the loss of space. We got the nice new multi-purpose building, but it's not completed.
Right.
For what we need it for.
Right. Which is pretty much what this,
Yeah.
well, a lot of.
Well, that and the overhead, like carport type of thing that we wanted to put next to the police garage that, will house vehicles, to
Right.
keep them out of the elements. Because like the MCC, for instance, is in a firehouse. And it's a pain to get to, and it's a pain for the fire department too. And it's got a lot of electronics in it and stuff, so it should be covered.
Right.
And, that's one of the reasons that, the tactical vehicles are, expensive vehicles, and
Right.
it just
Sure.
makes good sense.
Absolutely. So I guess my question is maybe more budgetary then. Can some of this 58.5 be used towards what the amount that we're bonding for of 280, or is, because for instance, $40,000 for the women's locker room upgrade, $50,000 for the multi-purpose building. Could this 58.5 cover one of those items so we don't have to bond as much? That's
Yeah, it
not-
could probably cover some of it. I don't think we could take that whole 58 and just put it right towards that, because there's other smaller things in the
Okay.
apartment, in the basement, for instance, there's a couple rooms in there that need to be overhauled. I mean, there's water damage, because we had leaks in the past,
Okay.
from groundwater and so on, and, it's.
So you're confident that that 58.5 would be used aside from this project with things that are already, it's already needed for certain things in the police building?
I'm confident that probably the majority of it would, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you, maybe there would be a little bit left over.
Yeah.
But.
Okay.
Pretty close. So we're trying to be conservative. I mean, that $40,000 for the upgrade, is for the locker room.
Yeah.
Pretty conservative. I mean, I'm hoping that we can get it done for that,
Yeah. Okay. And again, I'm not,
The multi-purpose building was supposed to be $180,000. It ended up being about 300, and we're still not done with it yet.
Yeah.
So it's just.
Right.
It's crazy.
And
Right
again,
at the
I don't
top.
want the question to be misconstrued as, a lack of support.
I don't, man, at all.
For
I
the
don't take
upgrade.
it that way.
And I'm, saying it very clearly for the crowd in the back, I'm not, I'm just, getting a handle on this whole budget thing, so. I appreciate-
100%, anything I can answer.
Okay.
I'm
Thank
happy
you.
to.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Vote on the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, resolution 83 passes.
Resolution 84.
Resolution 84, resolution determining that proposed concrete repair at Central Fire Station is a type 2 action for purpose of the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act. Council member Casey at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion? Motion. Councilmember Soriento, second by Councilmember Clark. Discussion on the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, resolution 84 passes.
85.
Resolution 85, bond resolution of the city of Troy authorizing the issuance of 75,000 bonds to finance the reconstruction of curbs, sidewalks, and gutters in the city, including concrete repair at the Central Fire Station. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
We have a motion. Motion. Councilmember Brosnan, second. Second. Councilmember Farrell. Discussion on the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, resolution 85 passes.
Resolution 86.
Resolution 86, resolution determining that proposed fire station carpet replacement is a type 2 action for purposes of the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
We have a motion. Motion. Councilmember Brosnan, second. Second by Councilmember Clark. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, resolution 86 passes.
Resolution 87.
Resolution 87, bond resolution of the city of Troy, New York, authorizing the issuance of $45,000 serial bonds to finance the purchase, installation, and replacement of fire station carpet. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
We have a motion. Motion. Councilmember Soriento. Second by Councilmember Brown. Discussion on the resolution. Deputy Mayor, I would just remind you, you owe us the payback schedule we had requested. We went ahead and acted on these tonight, but look forward to that at your earliest convenience.
Yes, Council President, I can get you those, so, and just because we haven't gone to the bond yet, there isn't the finalized payback, but I will get
When-
those to
when
you,
you have them.
most certainly.
Any other discussions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 no's, resolution 87 passes.
Resolution 89.
Resolution 89, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated for the purpose of changing the health insurance coverage provider for retired city employees from Humana to Anthem, and further authorizing a contract with Empire Blue Cross for supplemental drug coverage to city retirees. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Do we have a motion? Motion. Councilmember Brosnan, with the second by Councilmember. Discussion? Member Kate?
You know, when you get older, when you're older retiree for the city of Troy, or any retiree, your health insurance really is one of the most important things in your life. And this has been a nightmare. You heard, Bill Quant, the head of Retired Firefighters Association, which I'm a member. I heard it firsthand at meetings. I was in email chains and of course, talking to, not only retired firemen, but their family members who came to me who were concerned. This really, really was a nightmare for these people. They were so scared that their things wouldn't be covered and their surgeries, and they had scheduled surgeries, and I heard so much about it, and I just want to say I'm so relieved, and I know that the retirees of the city of Troy are just going to be so relieved that this is taken care of, because it truly was as you heard the stories, it was terrible. You know, I mean, these are elderly people in many cases that needed, you know, surgeries. They didn't even know whether they were gonna be covered. So, it's just a great thing that we're putting this to bed, and it's gonna be a great sigh of relief for, the city of Troy retirees. Thank you.
Councilmember Sorrento.
I do want to echo, Councilmember, Casey's, comment here. I also want to say, so I am familiar with different insurance plans. I do the health benefits, for City of Rensselaer, and, it's really important, and I know that, you guys will be in good hands with Empire, the Anthem. You will, they are a nationwide, carrier, and, so they're just, I don't know if anyone was familiar with NISHIP, New York State Health Insurance Plan with the Empire Plan, and they have nationwide coverage. So you'll be in good hands with that. Definitely pay very close attention to your yearly summary of benefits and coverage. That is actually, considered a binding contract. So you want to take a look at that, make sure that, that all the services, that are listed on there are actually being presented, because sometimes doctor's offices, they do submit claims wrong. I have had some of, some employees and retirees experience that, so just pay very close attention to it. Yeah, this is a good change.
Council President.
Councilmember President.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo that a little bit. I have Anthem insurance. I love it. There's a couple of hiccups every now and again, but I think that's every insurance company. I just wanted to touch on Humana using the retired firefighters of Troy as a bargaining chip. And I think that's disgusting. I know a lot of the insurance companies do that. And I think it's deplorable. It's one of the worst things you can do is toy with someone's life. What happens? You're gonna make a couple extra bonuses for higher ups on the potential life of a retired firefighter or even just a person. I don't think it's right. Happy it's getting done for them. Happy it didn't drag along. Happy it passed. Happy they're gonna live long, healthy lives.
Absolutely, and speaking as a retiree myself, I know how much it means to not have to worry about your health insurance. So thank you to those involved.
Council President.
Council, I know, you're not a council member, you're a deputy mayor.
You're right. Thank you.
Aren't you like-
We'll keep our role. I did just want to kind of echo what you were saying too. The mayor and myself just want to thank the staff, Gabrielle Mahoney, Dylan. When we first got in office, this was a problem that was rising right away. It really was shameful, quite frankly, what Humana was doing. I mean, you work hard your whole life, you anticipate that this healthcare coverage is going to be in. I mean, it just absolutely broke our hearts to hear our retirees saying that I can't go, they're telling me not to go to my oncology, visit. It's just disgusting. So I just want to thank the staff. They jumped on it very quick. A lot of dedicated retirees too that sounded the alarm and advocated for them. So, thanks again to everybody involved in the staff.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0 no's, resolution 89 passes.
Resolution 90.
Resolution 90. Resolution declaring the Troy City Council lead agency for review under the State Environmental Quality Review Act, seeker of a city's sponsored project to extend and construct the Marina North Boardwalk along the Hudson River from its existing terminus at Hutton Street to a point 1/4 of a mile north at J Street, and to refer the project to the Planning Commission for initial review and recommendations. Councilmember Casey, Council President Seale, the requesting administration.
We have a motion. Motion, Councilmember McLaren, second.
Second.
Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion on the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0 no's, resolution 90 passes.
Thank you. At this point in time, we have our second public forum. This is on any item, not necessarily an agenda item. So if you wish to speak, please come forward and give us your name and where you live.
Hello, I'm Evelyn Greenstein, I live in Sickaway, and here for the Troy Public Library. Last time I was here, I told everybody about the community service survey that we were running. I just wanted to remind everybody about it, that it's up on our website. I brought bookmarks this time with the link and the website address. Everybody who wishes to take it themselves or wishes something to hand out to your constituents to get them to fill out our survey. It would just help us serve our community and your community so much better. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Evelyn.
If I could have a minute, Gary Fabro, retired fire captain for a fire. And I just want to really thank the council for recognizing this, the mayor who recognized the situation we had with the health insurance. It was a desperate situation. And Humana, the city and the unions worked together years ago to put together the original health plan. We went to Humana, we've been working together on it. Humana worked for a while and then they collapsed on us. And completely collapsed with New York, Albany Med, with New York Oncology and Community Healthcare, which is about half of our people. So we really appreciate what you've done. Benetech was very helpful in putting it together, and the committee that worked on it with the city, especially the mayor and the council members that supported us. But we had 16 people went down to World Trade Center and worked down at World Trade Center, Troy firefighters, and eight of us had cancer related issues from the World Trade Center. So we're at over 65 now. Unfortunately, we're all over 65, a lot of us. And so this is a big thing for us that you secured our position for. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary.
My name is Catherine Plaisted. I live on Mann Avenue in South Troy. When you hit the top of Mann Avenue, there's a sign that says that it's Delaware Avenue. And that's pretty misleading because Delaware Avenue is, you have to go around a corner and up a hill, and it's over where Carroll Hill Elementary School is. A lot of traffic mistakenly comes into the cemetery. And I'm requesting that a sign be placed at the top of Mann Avenue that says, go this way to Delaware Avenue, go this way to Mann Avenue, and then put a sign at the bottom of it that says no through traffic if you turn right. At the moment, the problem is the cemetery gets people's mail, people's food deliveries, people's service calls, people's relatives. And it would just be easier for everybody's nerves if they could know you have to turn left at the top to get to Delaware Avenue.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions?
No, I just want to say we did speak, and I did mention it to Bill Wangler, and I'm trying to just get a time. They're very busy at this point, pick you up and meet me and kind of show them what you were talking about. The area, the gentleman who would take care of the signage. I'm trying to get him to meet me up there, just he's a little busy right now. You spoke to me on the phone, I believe.
Would you tell me that an ambulance came into the cemetery yesterday that was supposed to go to Carroll Hill Elementary and spent about 8 minutes figuring out that they couldn't get to the school. And they had to come back out and go around. That's the first time this has happened, but it could have been very, very serious. So if that helps, you get the gentleman to come and talk to you.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Well, thank you. I hope to see some action soon. Thank you.
Sure. Does anyone else wish to speak? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. And, before we adjourn, I just want to share with you that I did receive a message from Robin, and she's, Fontanelli from Sidewalk Warriors. And she felt very badly, but they were very short-staffed tonight. And I think we can certainly thank her for her efforts. We can either see if we can invite her back another time, or perhaps we as a group can go visit them sometime. Unfortunately, our meetings coincide Thursday nights, busy night all around in Troy. Okay, all in favor of adjourning? Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you all.